So dark in here. My gosh. I hope it's not so dark here. Can you guys see me? Can you hear me? Let me know. Why am I going live? I have no idea. But anyway, so I'm gonna wait for a few minutes for people to join my live stream. Um, I'm waiting for you guys. You know what? Let me share this on Facebook. Hold on. I'm here. Don't be alarmed. If you come in, chime in, please. Um, chime in. You can see this, everyone. Okay, so I have two reasons why I'm going live. Okay, I'm gonna wait for you guys to. Okay, sorry about that. I should have scheduled this. I think it would have been so much easier to just schedule it. So I'm gonna go ahead and start talking. Oh, hey, say hi if you're watching. So my husband is upstairs right now. Okay, so we went out. Where's the camera? I think that's the camera. Okay, can you hear me? So I went. We went out today. It was crazy hot, 37 degrees, I think, or 100 degrees. But before I tell you about my husband, let me introduce myself because there's a firestorm on Facebook group, in a Facebook group about me. So let me introduce myself, okay? My name is MamaDee. I am a South African living in America for the last 26 years. And in 2020, when the world was going crazy with COVID, I decided to go back to South Africa and build a home in the village. It's funny because I just met someone who I'm so excited to introduce to the group. We were talking about that earlier, that 2020 was kind of like a clarifying moment for all of us as to what we need to do. And a lot of us it felt like it was the end of the world. And so I think we all doubled down on what we wanted to do. We felt like it was a do or die moment for our lives. And so for me, having lived in America for 26 years, at the time about 20, maybe 21 years or 20 years, yes, at the time, no, 22 years at the time, I thought my mother was getting older. My mother who lives in South Africa was getting older, so I wanted more time with her. So I just literally took off on a one-way ticket to South Africa. This is the time that they were like all flights were grounded except if you were going home. And I decided to take one-way ticket to South Africa. And in doing so, I decided to build my house in hopes that, I would enjoy more time with my mom, as my children are older now and they are on their own. And I thought, this would be the time for us to go often to see our parent, at least my mom, because she was the only one living. And so yeah, that's how this whole journey started. And I decided to build in the village because that is where my mother is originally from, and she got me land and everything, blah, blah, blah. So now to come back to where my husband is actually upstairs. So we were out today and it was so hot. I decided to do a live on Facebook because we told you this. I don't even know what the price of that house is, but it must be in the millions because the houses in that neighborhood are around like $1 million, not a million, but a few $1 million at this time, because North Carolina, which is where I live, has become very popular. So everything has gone up. So I'm assuming, I remember when they first built that neighborhood, the houses were ranging around maybe 1.5, $1.8 million. And now I'm sure they're probably close to 5, if not more. I don't know. I mean, or around 5, I don't know. But houses have gone up in North Carolina because of that. So my husband and I were out and it was so hot. We did this live of this beautiful home. And I just kept on, like being reminded of my house in South Africa, because that house, there was no way I could afford here in our area. I probably could afford that house, to build that house here in America, maybe if I went in the outskirts. The same way I guess I did in South Africa, because that house in Cape Town would be so expensive. But I decided to build in the village because, I got the land for free, pretty much. Just a token of appreciation to the chief of our village. Basically, that's what we do. It's a custom. And so I was able to get the land. In fact, I got the land in 2003. I almost closed this. So I have three screens in front of me. I almost closed this, so I don't know what that will do. So I'll keep it open because I'm using this. I'm using this basically to talk to you guys. I'm using my webcam. And so, but anyway, so yeah, that was, the reason why I built in South Africa. But then the interesting thing, so today I posted in one of our groups as South Africans living in the United States. Guys, I'm never offended when people say crazy things about me. I'm never offended. If remember, my content is very serious. I'm a very serious person, okay? And I'm sharing my journey because I'm trying to encourage people to take a second look at the village and how beautiful life can be there. And that's part of why I'm sharing my journey. So a lot of people were attacking me in this group, saying I'm either a scammer, which, like, how do you come to that conclusion out of literally nowhere, right? You come to that conclusion and you say a person is a scammer, or they some of them are saying I'm bragging. They can even click. Come on, guys, you can click on my name and see what I am. Okay, that's what I do. In fact, I'm gonna call it lady, okay, because I don't want to give her name up. When she sent me a message, okay, today, she's from South Africa and she was so excited. She sent me a message. She tried to call me, but I couldn't pick up because the signal was bad in that restaurant I was in for lunch. And so she was excited. She called me. I couldn't pick up. I was like, okay. So I clicked on her profile to see if she was a real person. And I saw that she was, and she commented on my page. How come you guys don't do that? I mean, it's so simple. It's absolutely simple. If you're not sure what a person is, I would also be suspicious if a person has, which I've gotten friendship requests from people who have nothing in their profiles. I don't even, acknowledge those, because I'm like, I'm not going to be your first friend, you know what I mean? Or if you don't have any active profile, then again, I would, take you with a grain of salt. So that's the first thing I do, is to go look at person's profile to see if they are at least a legitimate person, because I have a public page. So a lot of people try to contact me for all sorts of reasons. In fact, if people send me a message, they can click on one of the questions there. I've actually created automated answers to things so that people know that I'm a legitimate person, okay? And people who've been following me know that I am a legitimate person. So even this live really was part of that, the part of the fact that, you know, like this, I am a legitimate person. I mean, I don't even know why I'm explaining, but I am interested in people following my journey. Oh, here's let me first tell you about my husband, because I feel like I kind of, you know, but my husband, so we came back, we had a wonderful day. We had lunch at in Raleigh Yard House, and we what did we do? So we went and looked at the houses, and guess what? The first thing he did, we made coffee, and we had coffee, and he went upstairs to go watch soccer and chat with his friend in Winston-Salem called Bejula. Bejula, that's our friend. You know him. You know the lady with the yellow dress. That's her husband. So they watch together soccer, and they, you know, like chat about it afterwards. So that's where he went. So that's how we go our separate ways. He has a TV upstairs, and I have a TV downstairs. And when I want to watch something, I stay here by myself, and he goes upstairs and watches by himself. We both work from home. We spend a ton of time together. So sometimes, you know, it's okay for him to be upstairs, and it's okay for me to be downstairs, because I get to watch, you know, like whatever I want, he gets to watch, and we spent a whole day together. So yeah, that's where it is. That's where he went. We went our separate ways. So I wasn't making it up, right? I hope you all got it. Let me see what's going on here. It says blah, blah, blah. Are you guys talking to me? Can you guys hear me? Now I'm worried, actually. But anyway, what I wanted to say, another thing that I wanted to say, okay, is to, okay, I don't know if you guys send any questions here. Can you guys hear me? Maybe you guys. Okay, thank you. So here's another topic I wanted to address, okay? So a lot of people in America, okay, who are South Africans, are white. Some of them still love South Africa. And don't take this the wrong way. If you've made a decision for yourself and you're happy with your decision, live with it. I'm not trying to convince you to do anything. But I was just thinking, you know, some people would actually be interested in going back to South Africa. Okay. But what I would advise you is to, like, I was in South Africa in December, number one, okay, January actual of this year. And I was in the Western Cape. Part of the time we celebrated my daughter's birthday there, and it felt very safe. It really did. I know that we talk a lot about crime in South Africa, but it felt very safe. I mean, we did shopping and everything. Yes, we were in the, you know, like a nice side of town, but it really did feel safe. And the last few years I've been going to South Africa, it has been feeling that way because they have a lot of security guards, which helps. It makes you feel a little bit what's the word, a little bit secure. And I mean, I know that it's probably a false sense of security, but I have like compared to before, like many years back, the last few years have been a little bit better. They, in malls, they post security, and you know, like, and a lot of people have cameras in their homes, which also helps, you know, like reduce crime. And so if you want to go back home, I think it's okay. And also you could live in a remote area, where, you know, like maybe in a rural area, not necessarily a remote, but a remote rural area where you can, you know, like maybe, I mean, I'm seeing a lot of homesteads, you know, of all racial backgrounds in South Africa popping up. where people are living, like in very, like rural areas, and they are enjoying themselves because it's peaceful. There's not a lot of people. So some people are doing that. That's another option. Another option is gated communities, what in South Africa they call estates. As you guys know, like a lot of people who live in the estates, they hey Atola, hey, it's been a while. It's been a while since I've heard from you. Hello. But anyway, so that's another thing I would suggest. Look for an estate, or what in America we call a gated community, which, I mean, in America, as you guys know, we don't have a lot of those. At least where I live, we don't have a lot of those, because you can go to any neighborhood and, like, as long as you're not committing any crime, there's no issue. Right. So like even the neighborhood that I went to today, it's cost millions of dollars to have a home there. But you can go in, and I toured a house and I did a full live. You can check it out on Facebook. That's good. That's good. Thank you so much you've been there from the beginning. You can tell everyone I'm not a scammer. People think I'm not real. They think, why would you share your journey of building in South Africa in an American group? That's what they were complaining about. And I thought that was funny. I literally laughed. I laughed my ass off, because I honestly am not bothered. When people say negative things to me on social media, it comes with the territory. I have a public Facebook page. And so my thing is that, like, there will be negative comments. And so I roll with it. If anything, it gives more life to my page, because as I was saying, my content is very serious and very boring many times. And so rarely do I get traction like that. So I guess that's what I would say. But yeah, so that's pretty much where I am. I thought, like, I would be going to South Africa soon, but that hasn't been confirmed yet. And I'm still, like, figuring things out. But anyway, if you're watching, please let me know where you're watching from, so that I can say hi too. But anyway, what else? Oh, I made another post today, which I thought was important. I feel like the South African government needs to just ban shacks as a dwelling, okay? Especially in our rural, like villages, in the villages. I think they should completely ban them. I think, if anything, I would rather people go back to mud houses, because mud is free, grass is free, water is free. I'm talking about the Eastern Cape. I don't know if we can build a house out of a sand in Cape Town. I don't know. But I know in our villages, my grandmother's home is still standing, and it was made of mud, right? They should ban them. Yes, I totally agree. We should just ban them. The challenge now is, so in our villages, for those who don't know, in our villages, we used to get 100 by 100 lot, 100 meter by 100 meter lot, okay? And you could build your homestead, and you can have animals, whatever you want to have. But now they've reduced them to 40 by 40, which is crazy to me. In the villages, we need to encourage people to live a sustainable, like, lifestyle, okay? We need people to be able to sustain themselves, instead of worrying about, like, gotta get that job, which is nice to have. I can't complain, and I don't blame people for wanting them. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that having a job is, like, not something that's important. I know, I totally get that. It's something very important. But people can use jobs to back themselves up, rather than, like, oh, if I don't have a job, it's the end of the world. You know what I mean? Like, you can still, like, work the land so that you can sustain yourself and your family. People are doing that, and some people are doing that, but many people are no longer planting their lots. at the end of the month, they wait for, somebody to send the money, and then they go buy groceries. In America, the trend is the opposite, by the way. In America, people are relearning, basically, how to grow their own food, how to, like eat organically, how to eat whole foods, how to walk again, like where we need to, like, because in America, there's obesity. I remember when I first came to America, maybe a few years after I came, because I wasn't allowed to work, by the way, for like 3 years minimum. I wasn't allowed to work legally, and I didn't work. Okay. Instead, I went to school because I was like, let me take this opportunity, like, because I came on a spousal visa here. And so, and I had just finished school, but I decided to go back to school anyway to help, like, so that when I'm ready for, or when my work permit is, like when my work permit is available, then I can find a good paying job, which is what I did. So, but the point I wanted to make here is that, so I used to work in this place where we sold cars, and I remember this guy said he's never seen an immigrant that is not grateful. Meaning, when we get to this country, we all get fat. Okay, so there was this guy who was here for there was this, like this guy was here for how many years? 30 years, and he was still very slim. So they used to tease him and say he's so ungrateful. Like the expectations is that when you get to America, you get fat, because the assumption is that you came from some poverty-stricken country and you are here because of that, right? And so, but anyway, so he used to say that. But sorry to hear that, Mama. Stay strong. Thank you so much. Thank you. I appreciate it. I mean, I get a lot of love. I'm not complaining at all. I get a lot of love on, like from my friends who've been following me, who understand, like what I'm trying to do. Hey, Lanel, it's been a while, girl. It's been a while. Hello. So, but yeah, like, so I get a lot of love. I've been with, like, people have been with me, like, since I started this journey of building my home. And originally, actually, I was sharing my life here in America, because there's a lot, I mean, to this day, a lot of people don't know what America is, because a lot of how people are introduced to America is through entertainment, okay, film industry, Hollywood. That's how people get introduced to America. And so people make a lot of assumptions. So I wanted to kind of share my life here so that people can see, what a normal American life is. My family, we are in the middle class here in America. So I thought, and America's biggest class is the middle class. And that's the difference between, South Africa and America. In South Africa, the largest, is still, like in the, I don't want to say working class, but, like a lot of people still are suffering. And whereas in America, the middle class is huge. Like we have 1%, obviously, and 10% and 5% at the top. And we have, like maybe another 10, 20%. Things are changing, obviously. After, like COVID, a lot has changed in America. And like the struggles everywhere. And a lot of Americans are even changing their attitudes. Guys, today I went to the mall as well. Like, I wish I could speak to a company that brings, like seasonal workers here in America, okay? Because there is an extreme amount of shortage of workers in America. I don't even know what's going on. I don't know what's behind this. Or maybe businesses are kind of, like banging on that we're going to move away from going to physical stores completely, because even when you go to a physical store, they always encourage you to, oh, you can order it online, like, and have it shipped to your house. But every time I go to the mall, okay, there's an extreme shortage of workers. And I wish I could literally just bring every kid in South Africa who's looking for a job, even if it's not necessarily what they want, right? Just to make money and take it, like home, so that they can be able to take care of themselves and their families. And there's an extreme shortage of workers. That's why I don't even understand what who is doing. I really don't. I don't know what's behind all of it. And I've kind of checked out, to be honest with you, because the barrage of like bad news can take a toll on a person. So I kind of checked out. Okay, bye, Aklola, bye. It was nice seeing you again. It's been a while. It really has been a while. But yeah, like, so that there's that what's going. So that's how I really started. I wanted to share, like, just an ordinary life in America, and now I've switched to sharing my journey so that I can encourage people to take a second look at the village. And it is happening, guys. It's happening. Like, people are literally reviving homes that were abandoned. It's happening everywhere. When you go to villages, it is happening. People are building like nobody's business. I'm just so, like, encouraged by what I'm seeing. But think about the, like, the impact of that in terms of, like, the people who are currently living in villages, the opportunities. In our little village, we have a mall, a new mall opened this year. I mean, that's an opportunity for people to have jobs and not have to leave and, like, and live home because, like, there are no opportunities. So, like, it's happening, and I'm so excited and I'm so happy, that people are taking a second look at the village. Again, I know there's a lot of controversy around what is the homeland, right? And I know to use that word is very bad, okay? But I'm trying to give you guys a context. So some people are resisting because they're like, South Africa is for all parts of South Africa belong to everyone. And I agree with you there. I've never said that it doesn't. In other words, if you can afford to have a house in Cape Town, yeah, by all means, buy yourself a house. But if you can get land for free, and let's say you have 500,000, okay, because the land in South Africa, in Cape Town, is going to set you far back than that, right? I remember when I was No, I had already started building the house, and my daughter came to visit. This is when my friend, actually, that year when my mother passed away, which was 2021, I decided to stay the whole year in South Africa. Okay, and so we went to the Western Cape, like we always do. I was born in Cape Town. My daughter was born in Cape Town, so she's always excited to go to Cape Town. And so, so we came back. We were driving from Cape Town, and we went via Hermanus, and we went. We were gonna sleep in where was what's that place? But it cannot, but that it's about 4 hour drive from Cape Town, and we were gonna sleep there. So I was driving and everything. So we went via Hermanus. So we went to this like vineyard that's there. I always go there if I'm in the Western Cape. Because my husband and I, one year we went to South Africa by ourselves, I think. Yeah, actually it was in 2016. We went there, and we had a wonderful time in Hermanus. This is before the kids were going to arrive, like maybe 2 weeks later or something like that. Can't recall. But so I always, I have very fond memories of Hermanus. So I took my daughter to this vineyard, and so I was talking to the guy there, the owner there, and he was asking me if I was interested in buying land. They were building, the houses were 12 million rands and up, but the lots were big and everything, right? Hold on, I'll answer you, I'll answer you in just a bit. So I took my daughter there, and so the houses were 12 million. So a lot of people are not going to have 12 million. A lot of people are going to struggle to have 1 million rands to build a house. So by taking the land in your village, because it's by heritage, by taking the land in your village that you have a right to, and build yourself a beautiful home, maybe that 500,000. You can add another 1 million rands if you can afford to, and build a really nice house for yourself. That's what a lot of people are doing right now in villages. And hey, Josie, I don't know how to pronounce your name, Josie, I assume. Sorry if I mispronounce it. Because Mama here has an accent, a very thick one. But anyway, so like it's an opportunity for people. Just to stick to that point that I was making, the reason why I'm encouraging people is really an opportunity for us to build, like our villages, number one, and also we get land for free. And then you get to develop it yourself the way you want to. And again, like you cut a lot of costs. You don't need permits to build. You just do whatever you want, okay? And so a lot of people saw that opportunity. There's a place in South Africa, those who don't know, called Limpopo. Limpopo, that's how you pronounce it. I used to call it Limbombo, Limbombo. So a lot of people have built huge houses there in the village, and the villages are growing organically, and that's totally fine. I have no issues with that. But my hope was that the people who live in townships, okay, because the townships themselves have become so overcrowded. There's shacks everywhere, okay, in Cape Town, which is what I'm familiar with. And I thought, why not leave Cape Town, and just go build yourself a nice place. The one thing I'll say, though, that I will caution our villages is we need to now, I think, start planning living public spaces, okay? Public spaces are for things like development of schools, development of clinics, like, like for infrastructure. We need to start planning, because organic development is fine as long as there is not a lot of demand. And now there's a demand for villages because people are looking for that peaceful life. Guys, I'm telling you, I've been in my house, like I've stayed in my house. I slept in my house last Christmas. If you didn't see my vlogs, please go ahead and check them out, okay? But I slept in my house, and I stayed in my house pretty much. When my family came from America, we stayed in the main house, and I pushed and pushed and pushed so we can at least be able to live in the house, right? And so when it's quiet there, oh my gosh, it feels like in heaven. It really does. It's so quiet. All you hear is birds. All you hear is, like chickens sometimes. I finally have chickens. 3 of my chickens, by the way, guys, died. So I have 7 chickens, and we found out 5 of them were male. This is my cousin who sold me the chickens. I feel like she screwed me. But I'm not mad at her. She's my cousin. But I couldn't believe 5 males. And so my son, who lives in the village right now, was like he couldn't identify whether they were male or female, and it took the longest time to lay eggs. The 2 that we have, longest time to lay eggs, but they finally laid eggs. So I'm so happy about that. I'm looking forward to just eating, organic eggs when I'm in the village. And so, like, that's all you hear, like sheep and stuff like that. That's what you hear, and so it's so peaceful. So if more of us could have the lifestyle spread out, I really want South Africans to spread out throughout the country, because I think it will solve a lot of problems that places like Cape Town are facing. And if we spread out, jobs will follow. Okay, because jobs are always looking for people. We always think that it's the people who are looking for jobs, right? But jobs are also looking for people. Jobs go where people are. Like, for instance, in our little town, we have a new mall that meant jobs for people. And we still have the old mall, and like, so there's quite a bit of development that's going on. The one thing I would like us to have more in the Eastern Cape, in Western Cape, you guys are fine, okay? And guys, when I'm talking about Western Cape, I mean the big cities, because Western Cape is what I'm familiar with, okay? I can speak for places like Johannesburg and Durban and all these other places. But in the Eastern Cape, it would be so nice to have stores that sell quality building materials. Okay, it's still very much a struggle to find. In the good old days, I don't know if you guys are old enough. Okay, in fact, my mother had chicken coop in the village, which is walking distance from me. She built a chicken coop, and my sister, of course, inherited it because that is in her lot, basically. But she used these galvanized corrugated metals that we used to call them Ngawase Isco, meaning they come from Isco. I guess Isco was a company in like somewhere in the mines. I don't know. I'm not that old. I'm old, but not that old. But it was like a company. Listen, I don't even know why I went live at this time, knowing that a lot of South Africans are sleeping. But hopefully they'll catch it tomorrow when they wake up. But yeah, like I was like, I don't even know, honestly, like, like where those materials went, because we used to have all these things. Another thing we need, so in our villages, we have this tradition, okay, which is to burn grass. Or if, like, somebody mistakenly dropped a match, and because at this time of the year it's very dry. I got some photos from the village. It's very dry at this time of the year, and so people burn this grass, and so that it can come back renewed, like by spring. And that's why you see all that green in, like in spring. There is because the grass had so much charcoal, and so that fertilizes it, basically. And so it comes back, like, and that's how they manage it, basically. But that is a problem, because a lot of us have yards, like fence that's made with poles. Yes, the solution will probably be to use iron poles, which is something that I should have done, to be honest with you, but I didn't, because I love the country style living. I live in North Carolina here, okay, and because I live in, like in North Carolina, we have a lot of country roads. So that's my romantic idea of what country living is. So I love to use wood. So I have these poles, just like most people in the countryside. And so when the fire came to my yard, mysteriously, started really at the top of my yard. And I mean, I've made videos, guys. They are private. They are here on YouTube to be released when the time is right. Okay, but when this fire happened, it burned a lot of my poles. So in an ideal world, I would use iron poles, or we could use poles that are dipped in something that makes them fire retardant. And so that's probably one of the issues that I've faced. And again, it's solvable. But I do worry about, when I have trees, because I plan to do landscaping in my yard, and I plan to plant. Like, I want to have a vineyard. That's my goal. Maybe, I don't know, maybe 3 or 4 years. When the building has settled down, okay, and I've actually enjoyed my house, the first thing I'm gonna do, which I had already done, by the way, and it was burned by the fire. I had planted some, like some fruit trees, so I have to redo all of that work, okay. some of my trees did survive. So I have a lot of pines that survive there. So I was happy about that. And hopefully, and I made some rings around them as well, so that, you know, if the fire gets in there accidentally, they don't burn. And these are the challenges that we face in villages. But I mean, again, all of these are preventable, because you could do fire guards around your house, things that, you know, like I plan to do. But it's very difficult to find a tractor there. I would either have to buy myself a tractor, you know, like to be able to do these things, because when it's season for, you know, like planting September, which is the time that I plan to be in South Africa, it's very difficult to find a tractor, you know. And hey, Prince Pilane. I know it's so like it's 9 p.m. here in America, and I don't even know why I decided to do this live. Oh, I know why. It's because I wanted to explain to people that I actually do live in America. They think I don't live in America. They think I'm just scamming them by telling them. And here's a funny thing. So on Facebook, I get a lot of questions about my house, which I sometimes I'm like, I don't want to even answer it. So I wrote this, you know, like a short post on Facebook that basically told people how many rooms my house has and everything, right? And so then Facebook says, hey, we think this is good content. I think you can post it to groups to reach more people. So that's what I did. So I belong to a lot of South African expat groups that are here in the United States. Okay. So I posted it there. So people were confused. Why is she posting her house? You know? And they started attacking me. Some were sarcastic. Some were like, very few people were positive. Okay. But I just was laughing my ass off, because I'm thinking to myself, these people, they can literally just click on my name to see what I do, right? And so, but anyway, that doesn't matter. So that was the reason why I went live and I shared the video with them. I said, ha ha ha, the people who thought I'm a scammer, I'm not. Okay. But yeah, so that's how it happened. So let me read your comments. Miguel, I don't know. Do you know where I can find the development plans for your municipality? We don't have municipality. We literally in no man's land. Okay, we live under a chief, and we. So this is the process. It's very simple. Okay, you have to be all from that area. Okay. Having said that, a lot of people nowadays are going to chiefs, even if, like, I have a friend, never been to the Eastern Cape, but she's built a beautiful home in the Eastern Cape, because now, like, if you know me, okay, I can go to the chief and say, I know so and so, and I can attest that this is a good person, blah, blah, blah. Okay. And then, but it's really the priority and the preference is heritage. So my mother is from there. So you go to the elderman of the village, okay? And then you request land, and you have to bring two oh shoot, my nails are so dirty. Sorry, I was eating nachos earlier. But anyway, so what happens is, so you go to the chief, you have to bring two brandies, you have to bring two juices, two sodas, I think 250 rands. I don't know what else, but you go to the elder men of the village, and then you request land, and then they go to the chief and they send all the names, and then on the day that, you know, they cut these thinking about it, if I was if I was a chief, I would open a bar, because of all the, like, when I was there, I think it was either 2021 or 2022, I can't recall, but on one day they had 40 lots cut out for people. Okay. And hey, Prince, so ooh, from Colorado, it's 7 p.m. I'm on the East Coast. Yolanda, I hope Yolanda. Why am I trying to pronounce profile names? I don't know. But hey, from North Carolina. And so, but anyway, so that's how you get the land. That is by heritage. Your parents, like everybody knows everyone in the village, so they know it's me, Noma Temba's daughter, and like you get your land. And so in my case, my uncle was the farmer, and I in 2002 when I went with my husband, really toying with the idea of building a home there. Okay. My uncle happened to be in the village, and so I asked him to cut me a lot, and he cut me a lot. And that was in 2003. And I never really, and in fact, that year I had just gone by myself and the kids. It was 2003. I have a record, playing records, and I drove from Cape Town, took my nieces and nephews, my nieces, just my nieces and my kids. We drove all the way to the village to see my mom. It's a 14-hour drive, by the way, from Cape Town. And I remember they were still making the road near Butterworth, Ituwa, and they were still making the end to the, and I remember they had these speed bumps that were made out of sand, and we didn't see one, and the car flew, and then we landed, and my son laughed so hard, and they were like, "Cool, mom!" And I'm thinking we almost died, okay, but we made it to the village, and I requested the land, and I was able to get it, and that was the end. Fast forward to 2020. I decided, I was talking to my mom already, and I told her that I think, no, it was 2019. Oh, I had promised my mom that I was going to come home every year. Okay. And so in 2019, she was turning 75. Okay. So I went and celebrated her birthday with her in the village. And I said, okay, I think I'm just going to build a home here so that I can come often. Whether I come with my husband and my kids, I'll have a place to stay. Okay. I'm just going to revive my lot, and, and that's the end. My mom was so excited. She was so happy. Literally, it was the first time that one of her kids had decided that village was going to be her home. Okay. My sisters, my siblings live in Cape Town, which is where we were all born and raised. And so, but my mom decided to retire in the village, and I love village life. So I was like, it's a no-brainer. I get to save, millions if I was going to buy a house in Cape Town, and I can just build the house of my dreams here in the village. That's literally what I did. So that was 2019. I made that decision. So early in the year, I sent her money to, to fence my yard, so that we can start the process. She built the shack. Oh, guys, I get so emotional when I think about my mom. Okay, I do. I'm sorry. I get so emotional because it meant so much to her. It really did. It meant so much to her that, one of her kids was coming to the village to live with her, and I thought my mom would have another 10, 15 years easily. I never thought anything would happen. And she literally got sick, and she didn't have COVID, by the way. But I think she was just so stressed, and she had a heart problem, and she was so stressed, and she had a massive heart attack. And my sisters were sick in Cape Town, and this is during COVID. So she was worried that, something would happen to her children. And I remember, sorry, I never talked about it. Okay. I never talked about it because every time I try to make a video, it makes me cry, and I hate crying. I really do. I hate crying. I'm a crier, but I hate crying. Okay. So, but anyway, but the whole point here is she was so excited and so ready. I have one picture of her. In fact, she's the one who who advised me to build the little house, the guest house first, because I was thinking, oh, I'll just build something for the God, okay? But she said, build that house so that you can have a place to stay. It's like she knew she was gonna live, and she didn't want me to be, like in trouble or anything like that. So I built my little house, and that was the best decision, because having that little house as your starter house, you can do a roundabout, by the way, if you are from, oh, my nails are so dead, this guy is sorry. I didn't realize. Like you can do like a roundabout, which now knowing what I know, I probably would have done that, because in Xhosa culture that means something, okay? But I was like, whatever. I'm not trying to build a traditional house here, at least that traditional. So I built, like the guest house, and the guest house by the name has a name, by the way, has a name, okay? It's called the Durham, okay? Where I live, we have the Durham Hotel. So since that's a guest house for my guests, I call it the Durham. And by the way, speaking of, on Facebook, I had put up a poll, okay, for a new house for my name, okay? New house, I'm dyslexic, sorry. A name for my house, for my main house, okay? People were like, I played with them, like the different names. So my mother's name was Nomatemba, which means hope, okay, in Xhosa, okay? Nomatemba. And my mother-in-law's name was Angelina, okay? So I wanted to honor both of them, because they mean so much to my husband and I, our parents, because we were raised by single mothers who literally gave it all for us. So we were like, this will be the way to honor them. So I played with all those two names. Played with them, like I came up maybe with 10 names for the homestead. But the one that's winning, let me check quickly. Let me check. I'm gonna check quickly. Hold on. Uh, I had a lot of lives today, by the way. You might want to check out that house. It's so big. It's similar to my house. Uh, Hold on. I'm almost there. Today I was on fire. I was attacking everyone, being attacked by everyone. Uh, that's funny. Anyway, I can find it now. Should have tagged it with something so it's easy to find. Oh, okay. House of Hope and Grace. Can you see me? Oops, sorry. House. Okay, so that's the name. Okay. The name is House of Hope and Grace. But I don't think I'm gonna go with that one. It's too long. Okay, my favorite, but I couldn't vote because it's my poll. My favorite is, and you guys can still vote, I think, if you guys want. I don't know. But my favorite is Angel's Hope at Dawn, okay? And Angel's Hope Crest, and what's the sunrise? Sunrise at Angel's Hope. The reason why I love those names is because one of the most beautiful things I enjoy about my home is the hill behind my home. Okay, that's where my view is. Okay, the hill behind my home, and that hill is so beautiful. That's where the sun comes up. It's on the east side. That's where the sun comes up. But the interesting thing is, I didn't know this before I built my house. I checked the elevation after. It's at 3,000 feet. Okay. In America, that's considered the mountains. Okay. So you see, like cloud cover just envelops the home. Okay. Cloud cover. And then sometimes there will be cloud cover. And then, like sun rises on the hill above that cloud. It's magical when that happens. I absolutely love it. So I was thinking about that when I was thinking about naming my home, that I want to honor my mom. I want to honor my mother-in-law because she meant so much to me. But I also wanted to honor the land that I've built my home on. And so that's why I love you know, like 3 names. I think those are my top favorites. And I'm going to post them here on YouTube as a poll so that other people can, and I'm going to eliminate the other ones because, okay, so there was another one, Indaba Yethemba, that was also popular. Indaba Yethemba Elingcwele. Elingcwele was a little too much, okay, because Ngcwele, to those who don't know, Indaba is mountain, Ithemba is hope, as I said, and Ngcwele is, they were playing on the word angel. I was playing on the word angel. And so, but anyway, so that's another option. MamaDee's Manor was also mentioned. And what was the other one that people liked? Ngandla, which I thought was kind of annoying. The people suggested I should call my house Ngandla. They were really annoying because they know what they were doing. But anyway, I'm kidding. Honestly, guys, I have a very tough skin. I grew up in Kailita, out of all places. So nothing, very little bothers me. Okay, it really doesn't. My friend one time called me. She was concerned for me. She was like, "Are you okay, bro?" I said, "Yes, I'm more than okay." The thing is that if I never need to be negative on my page, that brings joy to my heart, because negativity is very bad for your health. Okay, so I try to be as positive as possible, and so I just laugh it off because I don't take things personally. I really don't, especially as someone who has a page, you know, on YouTube. I mean, a page on Facebook, public page. So, but anyway, so, but yeah, like those were the names that came up. You guys, if you get a chance to go to my Facebook page, not the old MamaDee, because there's still a lot of action there, which I don't understand how. Maybe I should close that page completely. But the MamaDee Builds a House, that's the more active page. And so a lot of people voted for the, you know, like for the names. But again, as I said, my top 3 with the ones, but I couldn't vote because it's my poll. But yeah, the next step, the things that I are pressing in my house right now are the cabinets, which I don't even want to get into, guys. Okay, I really don't. I'll get into them once they're installed in the house. They make me sick. That's all I will have to say. Okay, that's what makes me sick. Okay, but the things that I want to do is, so you guys know, the bathrooms, all the bathrooms have, you know, like showers, and so nice to shower in the village. Oh my gosh. Because remember, in the village, there was not supposed to have any modernity. Okay, so to be on that land and be able to shower is so nice. It's something you want to shout to the world. Okay, and then on top of that, I have a washer and a dryer. So I did my washing inside for the first time. All the bathrooms have water. They all have toilets. They all have showers, and you can shower in all of them. And then the laundry room, we're basically, you know, like using it as a kitchen because it's actually huge. It's huge. It's like 4 by 4 meters. That's huge, even for American standards. That's 13 by 13 feet for those in America. And so I put in cabinetry there because I was thinking really of that laundry room, what they call here in America a crafts room. Okay, I wanted to use it as a crafts room so that I can be able to store, you know, like my stuff. And it's very hard to break the American mode of thinking. Okay, so in America, the house that I was showing you guys today has an attic space. Okay, attic space is basically and if you notice, excuse me, if you notice American houses, okay, they tend to have a very steep roof. Okay, very steep roof and very high roof. There's a lot of gap there. Okay, so what people use them for, some people will finish them, but it's really unfinished space. Some people will finish them and add an office there. Some people will finish them and make it a playroom. and some people will just leave it as storage. Okay, and so, and most people leave it as storage, which is fine, because normally the house is already big enough. You already have all the room you need. So in South Africa, I didn't have storage. My storage, I'm using it basically to house my solar system. And then I don't have like much storage beyond that. So then I thought, okay, I didn't want to put too many cabinets there in that room because really it's a laundry. But I said, let me put the cabinets so that I can store seasonal stuff. Like my Christmas decor, for instance, can go in there. Anything that has to do with crafts can go in there. And like all my cleaning supplies will go in there. But it was so nice to be able to do washing inside. I'll still have to do blankets outside, which is why you need a trough in your village home. There was also something I thought about this week that I wanted to share with you guys, but I can't remember it. I should have written it down. But there was something I wanted to share with you guys that I thought would be helpful to everyone. Anyway, I guess one of the things I would say, measure your furniture. You gotta measure your furniture, because one of the issues I have a nice, beautiful table. It cannot get into the room. The doors are 900 and this thing is like 915 and it's solid. And I may have to remove the door completely to get it in the room. Anyway, but speaking of doors, that is the work that I am going to continue to do when I'm in the village. And I want to plant again this year. Guys, when we left, it was at the peak of our food production, like the stuff we had planted, and we had to leave. And it was so heartbreaking. We're talking about it, my husband and I and my daughter, like, we're talking about it. We're like, gosh, we wish we could eat that food. Because like beets were so beautiful, zucchini, squash, everything was there in the garden. So I want to do it, but I want to do it early this year because we're going to spend Christmas in the village again. So it'd be nice to be able, like to eat the food this time. But it was like so nice to be able to have that food. So I need to work on that. I need to finish all the doors. I've already ordered the doors and everything for my bedroom, because my bedroom was the only one. I couldn't find a door. The door has to be custom sized. These are other things that you guys need to pay attention to when you have me design your house. Say, MamaDee, make everything standard, okay? Because so I do design houses, by the way, and my website is up and running, and people are able to, buy plans and guides and everything. You can buy a guide right now on my website and download it and read it and get all the numbers you need to build your home, okay? Or you could request a plan, or you could buy a plan, okay? But anyway, so I need to work on that door, because my door is not standard. So those are the little things I've improved when I'm working for people, making sure, because it's nice to be able to source for things, if you find something at the store, you're able to buy it rather than everything be custom size. Having said that, I do know that my house, I tried to make it as special as I could, but that has proven to be very expensive because, like, literally everything has to be made. Everything. The only thing I didn't have made there was the bathtubs and the toilet, but pretty much everything, and the lights, obviously. But everything else has to be made. Even the laundry was made custom. And somebody was asking me, you paid a lot of money. So I had Easy Life Kitchen make my cabinets, and I paid, it was 196K. That included one of the cabinets that's in the guest bathroom right now. Okay, guys, if I tell you I am excited for my house, you won't believe it. You won't believe it. I'm very excited because I feel like once it's done, it's going to make sense to a lot of people. Right now, it doesn't make sense, just a huge thing. Okay. Um, Not that I care that, like people get it. If a lot of people don't get my house, okay. And I'm totally fine with that because I built a house that will work for me, that I focused on the functionality and on the flow of the house. My house flows, guys, okay? You can get in, roll in from the front door all the way to the bedroom, all the way to the garage. It's just flowing. Like there's no, like, I made sure, if you notice, even my entry, okay, is huge. It's like my door itself is 2 meters wide, okay, and then I still have space on the sides because I wanted to make sure that even if I put furniture in that entry room, you still can walk with, and like what's the word? What's the right word? Um, like nothing blocking you. You can walk. If you notice, same thing in my living room. You can come from all the way from the garage all the way to my bedroom with nothing on your way. I did that deliberately because I was just thinking, I love space. I love beautiful spaces. I really do. I absolutely love beautiful spaces, and I've given myself a permission to enjoy them. Okay. Um, um, Only reason I'm up, I'm driving to Mpumalanga and back today, have to pick up family. That's so nice. That's all I have to say. That is so nice. I do enjoy driving in South Africa, by the way, pretty much. Okay, I really do enjoy. Not N1, but R61 could be wider, by the way. Those who know South African roads. So when you get out of N2, you get on R61, which takes you to N1. Okay, takes you to Cape Town, and it could be, like it could be wider. Okay, it could be wider, the road, because the road is a little dangerous because it's so skinny. Okay, and there's very little shoulder. It could be wider, but by and large, N2, N1, very nice. Okay, and I enjoy. And what's even nicer in the Eastern Cape, we have this new, it's called R72. That's a nice drive. It was really nice. I really enjoyed it, driving to Port Elizabeth by myself, blasting American country music in a country road in South Africa. That was a moment. I absolutely enjoyed it. I enjoyed it. So, but yeah, and I love road trips, by the way, myself. Even though I fly a lot now because obviously I can't drive to South Africa, I absolutely love road trips. I love them better than flying because I can stop and enjoy, I love enjoying scenery. I love enjoying, like, just getting to see places. Flying is nice, but it doesn't do anything for you other than gets you there fast. But you miss out a lot. I still haven't made my big trip, which I need to do soon because the older you get, the suckier it gets. In the sense that, like sitting too long or blah blah blah. So I still want to do my California road trip. Okay, where I just drive, and then or fly to Southern California, and then like drive up all the way to British Columbia. That's my goal, and that's my plan. I have to do that trip soon though. But yeah, I've been in America for 26 years, but I've never been to California. Never been. The farthest I've gone west is Nevada, okay, Las Vegas, when I went for my anniversary, and I spent a week there. That was really nice, but it was hot as hell. You guys don't know what hot is until you go to that part of the world in July, okay? Actually, the hottest place on earth is in California. Can you believe that? Death Valley, I think it's called, or out west. I don't know exactly, but that's what I've read. I don't know how true that is. But whoa, it was so hot. I was like, I'm never coming here in July ever again. Having said that, places like Mexico and these places are also very hot, but because they're at the ocean and the water is like a bathtub, but very nice. So it doesn't feel as bad, even though as soon as you get outside, your glasses fog. Okay, it's still bearable. But Nevada, oh, Las Vegas, yo, it was so hot. The pavement was emitting heat. Okay, you literally survive there by staying inside in air conditioner. So we went to all the hotels. We would walk early in the morning because it's 3 hours behind the East Coast. So we'll do a morning walk and then like work until like late there, and then like do a night walk. So that's how basically we survived. But it was during the day, it was so hot. So we had one day we went to the Grand Canyon, which is in Arizona. Yo, that was even worse. I didn't think it could get worse. As soon as you got off that bus, it felt like you were walking into a sauna. It was like unbelievably hot. South Africa is not hot. South African weather is very temperate, actually, but it does get cold there. Uh, you know, uh, oh, flex. Okay, whatever. I don't even know what that means. I actually, guys, excuse me. I enjoy sharing my journey online because, as I said, I have a purpose for it. Okay, but by and large, uh, flexing is not my thing. But I just do love to share. Okay, I don't share everything, by the way. I share what I think. Um, First of all, literally, I use YouTube to keep my memories as well. So, like, sometimes I'll share my anniversary because I want to have that record there always. Because basically, I'm paying for storage at this point. That's how much, footage I have. I haven't shared my video when I did my girls trip to Miami, which was epic, by the way. Guys, every time I try to edit it, okay, I laugh my ass off because it's so funny, but it's so beautiful at the same time. Like we literally acted like little girls, but it was so funny. And then I have my Las Vegas trip. I never really shared the actual vlogs. I just did little clips. And then another one, my daughter's birthday in Cape Town. I want to share that because I want to keep that memory for her, really. And I haven't made that. So I'm trying to, put the in between. I know people only care about the house, okay? I understand that, and I'm okay with that, okay? People only want to care, they only care about the house. They want to know, Mama D, Mama D, Mama D, where is it? I live in America, guys, and I only work when I'm there, okay? So many people have tried to build houses while they are not there, okay? So many people have tried building houses, and a lot of them are crying, okay? And I mean, I don't blame them because I just happen to be lucky, in a sense of I work from home, so sometimes I'm able to work from there, which allows me to live to stay a little longer. But by and large, like it's very what's the word I'm looking for? Like it's very difficult to build. So I have to come back, and I'm building this thing out of pocket pretty much. And so it's so nice to take a break and recoup financially and then continue. When that house is said and done, it doesn't matter who I owe. Nothing will happen to it. Oh, I'm laughing because um, I'm laughing because like it's in a village under a chief. So really, if I owe you, toodles. I'm kidding. I don't do that. But the point is that I have to recoup financially and then continue to build. And I'm not in a hurry. I'm not near retirement. I just turned 50 years old. Okay. I'm not near retirement. So it's just going to be a house that I go to, like when I'm in South Africa and get to enjoy it. But as soon as my husband retires, I'm retiring too. I'm not going to stay in work. I'll rather wait and not take my retirement, because in America, apparently you can't take retirement early. If you do, you get punished severely financially. Okay. And I think, yeah, and for every, I don't know how many years, okay, like they take a big chunk until you get to that retirement age. So in other words, if let's say you were going to get $2,000 a month, I'm just making an example, because I don't even know how it works. I haven't even thought about it, to be honest with you. All I know is that I pay Social Security like most Americans work, right? But I do know that if you do retire early, then they don't give you full benefits. Okay. So you have to decide basically what you want to do, and what are you willing to sacrifice. And for me, I told myself, I said, when my husband retires, I'm retiring too. That way, having said that, nowadays nobody retires, by the way. Newsflash. Unless you're super rich, or you those YouTubers who make millions of dollars. Hey, YouTubers who make millions of dollars, can you help Andy out so she can retire? But anyway, like those young people who are entrepreneurs who are retiring early. But the point I wanted to make is that most people don't retire. What they do, they go to consulting, they go to, cut back hours, that kind of thing. And they start businesses in retirement so that they can sustain their income. And like those kind of, some people don't retire like that anymore. People retire officially to get, like their full benefits, but then they continue to do some work at some, like capacity, but they have the flexibility if they don't want to continue to work. And so, but yeah, like that's where I am right now. And once I finish the cabinets, once I finish those doors and some baseboards that I need to do, the house is done. Pretty much, it's done. I just need to finish finishing it, but I need those cabinets in. I need them in. Otherwise, they're driving me nuts. Okay, and so, but yeah, like I think that's it. Any questions, guys? Any questions? I'm going to end this live. I hear my husband is back in the fold. He's done watching TV. But this was nice, by the way. I need to do more of these lives. I really do. In the village, I'm unable to because I have limited internet. Oh, by the way, that's another issue that we face in our villages. And I'm on what's this thing? MTN. I'm on them to make sure that they provide us unlimited access in the villages. We're trying to elevate here, and they should not be holding us back, because I could be doing my lives from the village, but because I could buy data, that's what I normally do, but sometimes, and I think it's fast enough. Maybe that's what I'll do instead of complaining, because right now we don't have unlimited data. So even if and I don't have unlimited data with my plan, I usually take my phone to South Africa, and when I'm on an international thing, I don't have unlimited data. Okay, and so because of that, I for my my Wi-Fi and everything, I have MTN in South Africa, and that helps out a lot actually. And for my security system as well, those kind of things. I think the service provider, I have a security system. I have a service provider for security. And so I don't know. I'm thinking they use MTN. I don't know. But I'm praying that the prodigal son of South Africa, Elon Musk, will finally be allowed to have satellite in South Africa. I know that it's controversial, but MTN, we need to stop coddling businesses, being too protective of businesses, because we need, I do know that, yes, a lot of people are going to struggle, and maybe the downside of that, and maybe the downside of that, a lot of people might lose jobs. Okay, so that's what worries me, because people are complaining that MTN and these companies, they've put in a lot of infrastructure in terms of services. So if now you allow Elon Musk to come in, then with his Starlink, then you're gonna end up in Zimbabwe. They have it, by the way. Then you're gonna end up like these businesses going out of business, because he can just literally beam to your house, right? And but I think to solve that problem, first of all, you can stop nickeling and diming people. South African services, they are frustrating to me, because they always nickel and dime you. You look this way, they are taking your money, whether it's banks or, and so to solve that problem, they can stop nickeling and diming people and truly compete. And they could also make sure that they provide services everywhere in an equal way. For instance, if I go to East London, my service is perfect. If I go to the village, the service is not so good. So they can fix those problems so that they can compete, in a way that serves customer, not in a way that says protect us. So, we can continue to screw people. I'm sorry I had to be political. And I can be political if I want to, but I choose not to be. I never choose. I've stopped choosing politics, because I just feel like as people, we have to be, like mature enough to do the right things for ourselves and our families and our communities and our country, right? That's how I feel. And I feel like you can exercise all those rights and do the right thing and serve, but I don't have to always be in every fight. You know what I mean? That's a personal decision on my part. I grew up in politics, and I know some of you, the people who accuse me of gravy, that I'm building my house with gravy. And I usually stand up when somebody says that. I stand up and correct the record, because guess what? I don't want people to plant craziness in their heads. Okay, I live in America, and that's how I'm able to build a house. Okay, it's that simple. Lots of beautiful houses in South Africa. I mean, really lots of beautiful houses, especially if you go, even in the village today, people are building beautiful houses. Today, I searched on TikTok, I searched Ezilalin, okay? EZILALINI, okay? Ezilalin, which means the villages. I wanted to see, like, what are people posting? People have beautiful homes out there. It's so pretty. I'm really encouraged. I think South Africa is changing, and it's changing for the better. And we just need to continue, like the struggle to move our country forward. We really need to. I don't mean just in terms of building beautiful. I'm just thinking from a perspective of how, like we carry ourselves, and understanding that the rule of law is not something that's a nice to have, it's for everyone. And that, like we can build beautiful lives. That's what I want, because we have one life to live, okay? YOLO. So you might as well make it beautiful. And it doesn't have to be a big house. It can be anything you find beautiful. It can be a beautiful garden, could be anything that you find beautiful, but just make it beautiful. Take care of it. I'm even, as much as I hate shacks, which I do, I grew up in a shack, so don't judge me, okay? But I do hate shacks, because shacks are kind of people look at them as temporary housing, right? So they mistreat the places where they live, and so, but when I see a beautiful shack, I'm encouraged. You can see that this person made sure that it's built nice. What is a shack after all, right? Other than that, you use corrugated metal for walls and the roof. And so, but you can make that nice. I want to build a barn, maybe not this year, but maybe in the next 2 years. But I want to build an American style barn. And because we have a fire hazard in our villages, I'm going to have to use a corrugated metal, galvanized, so that, you know, like it can last a long time. And I'm going to paint it red, just like most American barns. And so, but that's a shack basically. But excuse me, it's going to be built nice, okay? And another thing that I argued today in my page was that the lots need to remain 100 by 100. The reason is because in villages, people will always have a shed, okay? A shed to put their tools, or to sometimes you put your animals. They need to have a covered area. So we will always have some shack looking, you know, like structure in the yard. But if we have huge yards, then it doesn't look like it's a shackville. Do you understand what I'm saying? It looks like you have a home and you happen to have a shed. That's how it should be. And so that it looks nice. And also, I mean, even sheds, when it comes to sheds, we can do a better job. Like my mom built my shed, which I was really happy she did, because I used that basically to store my building materials. But I'm going to tear it down at some point. Actually, I've already done it. I moved it because I needed to build the guardhouse, and so I moved it somewhere. But guess what? That thing is solid, but it's not nicely built at all. So I'm gonna tear it down and build something that's nicer, and then use that material to build my chicken coop in a nice way. Okay, because that's the one thing I'm looking forward to. I want everything that's an animal in my yard. I want a donkey, I want cows, I want sheep, I want chickens, I want ducks. My husband is against turkeys, which I don't understand, because that's an American tradition. Every Thanksgiving we have a turkey here, so he doesn't like. South Africans don't like the meat. um, and and so, like, you know, like all those, you know, like things, I'm just, you know, I just want to have all of that. I really do want to have all of that. I already have my chickens, and as I said, they're laying eggs now, which is so nice, but I haven't tasted a single one because I'm here. And then my son, he enjoys them. He enjoys the chicken eggs. He said he doesn't buy chicken eggs anymore. So, which is kind of nice. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Gosh, so many of you guys are watching. And let me see if there are any questions. Yeah, anyway. Okay, guys, thank you so much. I think that's it. 1.5 hours. And I could go on and on and on. Next time I want to, so I told you what the plans are, right? My goal is to have my is to finish the house. That's my next goal. And finish the gate, even though now I finally have people to open the gate, because I have people living full-time in the home, in, you know. And but I want to finish that gate, and then I want to do the planting. Those are the major things, and then relax and enjoy the house for a little bit before I do other major, you know, like developments. But anyway, okay, thank you so much, guys, for watching. Don't forget to, I'm looking over there. I should be looking over here. Don't forget to share this video. If you're not subscribed, please subscribe. There's a lot that's coming. And make sure that you share my content. It's very helpful. And when you see one of my videos, and make sure that when you subscribe, you get all the notifications. And there's a lot that's coming. You're gonna love the house. That's all I have to say. I'm excited for it, and I want you guys to be the first to see it. Okay, especially my YouTube family. I love my Facebook family because it's very active, but you guys have been with me day one. Okay, so I truly love you guys, and thanks so much for always supporting me. My channel would be nothing without you. You're at 16,000 something right now subscribers. We could go on easily to 20K. to 30K, all the like all the what's the word, uh anything you can do to help my channel. Share it with your family members, share it as your WhatsApp status, tell everyone to follow my content. And I'm gonna try and make my, by the way, before I get off here, what are the things that are you guys what are the things you guys are looking forward to seeing? Okay, tell me, quickly comment. Okay, let me know what are you looking forward to seeing, so that I can show you guys what you guys want to see. I know you want to see the house, but specifically what do you want me to share about the house? There's a lot of things that like I want to share, but sometimes I'm like, I don't know if people care about that. But let me know. I've shared a lot already, but maybe you want to see something specific. I don't know. But, or you can comment in one of the videos. I'll answer them. I'll answer, everything even after this live is done. But thank you so much for watching, and I truly appreciate you. And don't forget to like and subscribe and share. Share as much as you can. I truly appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. Okay, bye-bye. Now I have to end the stream, and I don't even know. Okay, there it is. Your stream will stop immediately. You will no longer be live. Yeah, I know that.